Let's bring in Dr. Wanda Cook-Robinson, Oakland Schools Superintendent. You've had no summer vacation, I would imagine, right?
Correct.
How are you surviving?
Well, I'll tell you, when I see the hard work that our superintendents are doing, and they have been working tirelessly, it really just keeps me going. I'm really very proud of what we're doing here in Oakland County Schools.
Tell us a little bit about Oakland County Schools and the work that you're doing and who you service as well.
Well, Oakland Schools, as you know, is one of 56 intermediate school districts in the state. And we provide leadership in all aspects of education for our 28 local districts and our 22 public service academies. So all of what we call them the LEAs, our local districts, we help them do their return to school plans. We help them with professional development. And we have a consultant at the ISD, as we call ourselves Oakland Schools, the ISD, to help them in all areas of schooling. So as you can imagine, it has been tense over the last several days as schools have started, and we have been there to help them. And that help can be anything from providing professional development to connecting them with the health department to getting data, whatever the schools need to provide a quality education for the children who attend school in Oakland County.
So give us an update. How, oh my gosh, I just can't even imagine what all of you have been through. But the first week, I will say, according to my Facebook friends, there's been some snafus. Some people haven't been able to log on, and there have been issues with this, that, and the other, which is expected. Everyone is navigating this. This is new chartered territory for all of us. So, how has the first week been, and how have you addressed some of the issues that have come up?
Well, believe it or not, the first week has really started better than we expected. We were very, very worried about connectivity. In Oakland County, we still have some areas in the county, particularly in the south end of Oakland, that are not connected. And we are working closely with Oakland Schools, and the county government are working closely to see how can we make that connection so that every student, regardless of their zip code in Oakland County, will have connectivity and access. And we are still working with that. We have been very, very pleased with the help that we've received from United Way and the Skillman Foundation and helping us to provide Chromebooks for students. We still have some needs in some of our districts, and as you know, as you can imagine, everyone in the country ordering Chromebooks and laptop computers, we still have a few on back order. Our first and primary thing that is on our mind is safety. We want to provide a safe environment for students to learn. That is why the majority of the districts in Oakland County started the school year virtually. And during this time, we are still working in our buildings, in our school districts, to see how we can lower risk as we attempt to bring students back face to face. We have partnered with the Oakland County Health Department, and we have a initiative where we are placing a nurse, a minimum of one, in some districts 2 to 3, a nurse in every single school district. So they are working with those districts now to look at their protocols, to look at their social distancing, and to look at their whole environment in terms of being able to bring students back face to face. And that is our ultimate goal. We want to bring the students back face to face for their instruction, but we want to do it in a low risk, safe environment. So that's something that they're working on, as well as trying to deliver a quality education in a virtual format. This is new for us. We have a little practice because we've been doing it since March. And teachers have spent the summer being trained in how to deliver instruction that's motivating and energizing in a virtual format. So we've had some hitches in some districts where the login, I had to learn to log in for my grandson so that I can go in and help do some assignments and help my son and my daughter-in-law, because parents are getting a little overwhelmed too. You know, they are still working and they are assisting in this virtual format. So we've been doing some of that, and we've been looking at how we can help parents and resources and support for them as well.
Dr. Wanda Cook-Robinson, Oakland Schools Superintendent, with us on the Oakland County Megacast. Dr. Cook-Robinson, earlier on you mentioned that Oakland Schools is still working with many school districts, with some school districts in Oakland County in terms of connectivity for students so that they can run these virtual classes as effectively as possible and make sure that everybody has the connection that they need to be able to learn under this format. Well, while that's still in process, and in the meantime, while your organization and these other these local school districts are working on curbing that issue, what is being done for those students that do not have the capability to be connected properly to engage in this virtual learning?
We are identifying sites, and we're working with the Oakland County government on this as well. For example, in one of our districts, we're looking at the library. The library is a place where students can come in the car, they can be in the cars, and they can use their Wi-Fi. Also, we've been looking, superintendents have been searching their community for Wi-Fi that is close to home. As you know, there are a number of businesses that offer Wi-Fi, and how do we connect there? So all of these efforts are underway to see if there are community elements that can help us with that connectivity. But it is not a situation where, oh, they're not connected, we don't know what we're going to do. We are working to get them connected and to find a way, even if we have to take hotspots to their home to do that.
Yeah, I know there's been a lot of frustration. I think I just saw in Royal Oak, Imagine Theater had offered up their location, but then they had to shut it down for the school students because of code issues, code violations, and they're working through that. So people are trying to work together, trying to be creative, to try to come up with solutions. There's so much frustration because some parents say, you've had 6 months to try to get this right and to try to come up with these answers, but it's changing every day. What do you want the parents to know who are frustrated out there? Because I know you guys have been working around the clock.
Yes, and we understand that frustration. The one thing that you have to remember is that one size does not fit all. Particularly in Oakland, you know, we have rural, urban, and suburban districts, and the characteristics in each community are different. So, you know, in the last 6 months, I could have come up with one model, but it would not have worked for every single district. So we've had to take more time to work case by case, district by district. Each superintendent is working closely with their teachers union, and their community and their boards to figure out what's best in this community. And so that's why you'll hear some parents will say, oh, it's going fine for us, and some are saying, oh, we've had a little bit of struggle. As you know, in our rural areas, the connectivity has been an issue. In most of the Oakland County, we've been able to solve that with very few pockets left. And we understand that parents have jobs and that their children at home and having to support education on that end has been a load. We understand that, and we've tried very hard as we've trained and worked with teachers to deliver instruction where the parent input is minimal. But in some cases, for some of our students, they need a little more, and so we need parents to give a little more. With our special education students, for example, many of the staff have continued to do one-on-one support with those students. They're looking at now, even in a virtual environment, how to bring those students to a site so that they can receive services. So if it were as easy as turning on a switch, I would have done it from the ISD, and I would do it. However, it is almost a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, so much you all are dealing with. You know, as we continue to go on through this pandemic and we're trying to figure out solutions to learning, my heart goes out and I think about the kids where home is not their safe space. School was their escape. School is where they thrived. And if they are stuck in those environments where it's not safe for them, is there any thought and consideration as to what's being done to try to address the kids that need to be someplace other than their home to learn?
Yes, and we're working closely with social agencies as well as many of our local districts have social workers and support staff. And what they are doing, they are reaching out to those homes, to those families. As you know, food insecurity also is another issue. We are having the buses go into the subdivisions to still deliver food and lunches so that students have that. And we're reaching out to those homes and doing home checks. And how are students doing it? And how can we help you? That is occurring across all of our districts. And again, working with social agencies, we are partnering with them. I don't know if you and our viewers are aware, but at the ISD, we have a team called Wraparound. The Wraparound team at Oakland Schools is comprised of social work staff, and their job is to do just that. They work with the local districts to cover the Oakland County community to go out and to make sure that there's support in the homes. We also have a consultant, for example, that works with students who are economically disadvantaged. We have a consultant that works with students who are English language learners. We have a consultant that works with students who are immigrant to this Oakland County environment. So though I have a team at Oakland Schools that works with the schools to do just that, to reach out. Food insecurity and student safety is a priority for us.
So many good programs. I wasn't aware of that. And I think a lot of it has to do is we need the parents and the students to be sure that it's okay to reach out for help and let people know that they need help because those resources are available to them.
Yes.
I will say, I know that your organization works on training teachers and superintendents on leadership. I think you guys all have earned an A in leadership, and you need special certificates for navigating COVID-19.
Yes, it has been different. But you know what? This pandemic has brought us challenges, but it also brings with it opportunities. And I think what we have now in the field of education, I'm going to tell you, I'm an old time educator. I've been in over 30 years. And I think this is a time when we can look at those changes that we need to implement to improve how we educate students, how we can uplift the quality of education, and how we can increase student achievement. And I think we have an opportunity here. And that's what I'm hearing from my colleagues. You know, the virtual, the remote, and all of that. How can we use all of this to enhance the quality of education moving forward? And it's not all or nothing. You know, it may be both, or it may be all. So these are the questions that we are pondering as we're moving forward. And we're looking to see, what have we learned from this pandemic? And how can we use those elements that we learned to make education better?
Dr. Wanda Cook-Robinson with us, Oakland Schools Superintendent. Just another minute or so with you today before we let you go. Is there anything else that would be important for our local parents, students, and teachers to know from your organization, or anything else you'd like to speak about today?
Yes, for parents, I want them to know that we are working closely with the health department and state government to look at the safest way to bring students back to school face to face. Our goal is to get students in that environment as soon as it is safe for them to do. In addition, for support for parents, our state organization, MASA, which is the School Administrators Association, is partnering with Channel 56, and we're going to develop a channel, a learning channel for parents to be able to utilize to help support their students. And for all of our parents out there, if you have a student that needs help or support, you need support working with them, call your local district or go on their website. All of our local districts in Oakland County have put resources on their websites to help. And if you don't find it there, then go to the Oakland Schools website or feel free to call me. And my staff and I will do whatever we can to help and support through this pandemic.
Dr. Wanda Cook-Robinson, Oakland Schools Superintendent, we appreciate your time and all the help that you and your team are doing to get our kids back into the classroom.